I just want to talk to you a little bit about Nick Diaz's case and the whole situation. First of all, the whole 24 water bottles thing, where did that come from?
Came from him drinking a lot of water afterwards.
And you witnessed him?
No, those water bottles are like 8-ounce bottles, so 24 bottles is about, I think, a gallon and a half if my math is right. That's about what he drank. And we know why. And you can play games about it if you want, but we know why.
Well, of course, obviously trying to clean the system.
Of course.
Kizer Gracie has some words for you and saying that you guys are picking on Nick Diaz. What is your reaction to
Well,
that?
Kizer and I have always had a great relationship. In fact, he called me during the case and said, look, I want to sit down with you. Nick and I want to sit down with you. I said, look, Kizer, you got to call Ross Goodman. He's the attorney. You got to go through him. We're happy to do that. We've offered it several times to Ross. He said, I will call Ross right away. Never heard back from him after that. I don't know what the conversation was between him and Ross, but we've always had a good relationship, and I expect to have a good one with Kizer in the future.
And what's happening now with the whole case and everything with Nick? Because according to Kizer, it's still ongoing.
It is. He's right. Yeah, the Attorney General's office on behalf of the Commission filed their answering brief on Monday, the 29th. So I think Nick and his attorney will have until the end of this month to file, or the beginning of next month to file their brief, and then the judge will set it for a hearing. So I assume sometime in December. It's kind of tough because of the holidays, but I assume sometime in December the judge will have a hearing, and then the Attorney General on behalf of the state and Mr. Goodman on behalf of Nick Diaz will have a hearing.
Is there any chance that fighters will actually be allowed to be, a therapeutic use exemption for marijuana, like there is for testosterone?
Possible. I know there are certain conditions where a fighter, medical conditions, for where a fighter would be entitled to a therapeutic use exemption for some sort of drug. Now, the one thing with therapeutic use exemptions is it doesn't mean if you have a condition that you need to have treatment for that you get the drug of your choice or the treatment plan of your choice. All that stuff has to be reviewed, and there are some situations we've had in the past where a fighter is entitled to a therapeutic use exemption, but he can't take that specific drug, and his doctor finds an alternative, and there's no issues with that. And that's worked out very well in the past. So you'd hope if a fighter had a legitimate medical condition and had all his ducks in the row with his physician and got it to us, we'd be happy to look at it, certainly.
Say, for instance, like a guy with Matt Riddle, he was recently tested positive for marijuana. His excuse was that he didn't let you guys know because he didn't want the world to know that he was a marijuana user.
That fight was in Calgary.
Okay, but what are your thoughts on that and his opinion on that? Is there ever a way that you guys would be able to keep it under the radar if a fighter came to you and said that?
All our unfortunately, our medical records are public records. If there have any relation whatsoever to the licensing of the fighter. So unfortunately, we actually tried to get the legislature to change that about 6 or 7 years ago and got shot down. So as of right now, we don't have that ability.
All right, Keith, thanks for taking the time.
Certainly. Thank you.